Okay, Reggie. Did you see this interview segment that DeAndre Bonds did, where he basically stated that he feels like all married female COs cheat on their spouses with prison inmates? Did you see this? Did you witness this? Did you have any experience in this when you were in the prison system?
I mean, I'm one that believe it has happened, that it does happen. I know of a lot of, especially the other way around, because my sister is a correctional officer, and they be getting walked off the yard all the time, where they be having sex with inmates, with the female inmates, and then of course y'all know I watch, my prison TV shows and stuff like that. But it happens. You'd be stupid to say it because females have lack. You can get it. I ain't gonna say lack of self-esteem, but you could get in their heads easily. If you're just talking to somebody being nice, females are very easy to get into their head if they not don't have a strong father, and that's what unfortunately a lot of females don't have the male role models in their life as a young kid, and so they can be easily persuaded to do things. And you got to remember, dudes that's in prison and in jail, they usually were the best of the best on the streets that just fucked up and finally got caught. Y'all got to remember, a cop only has to be right one time. I remember one of my good friends, Fred Reynolds, used to always tell me, these motherfuckers, they got to be right all the time. You only got to catch these motherfuckers or be right one time. And they be gone for a long time. And so my point is, just because somebody's in prison don't mean that they were stupid motherfuckers. Because they generally not. They generally were the leaders, streetwise, I'm not saying. But even in corporate America and stuff, the motherfuckers that can make shit happen that's in prison. And so they got game. And females are females. They are easily to get persuaded if you got the right type of game. I'm sure it's about 3 or 4 of you females in this thing that ain't never seen Reggie Wright fat ass in the world, but would love to get with Reggie Wright. Probably some of you motherfuckers males in the comment section, but it will never happen in life. But that's just how it happens. You keep listening to somebody and talking and interacting with people, you start liking them, you start feeling for them and stuff like that. They are still humans and not robots. And so that would be my take. That would be why I believe it happens. And it's generally because in a lot of states, the guards are not making that much money. Niggas in jail still got that pipeline going or got a lot of money stashed away. And, they can look out. They get in that head. And so, I never experienced it. I didn't have it. I wasn't in prison long enough. But there were guards there, males and females, that looked out for me just because of my little popularity. Because when I was in custody, that Death Row Chronicles BET thing was running, and we watched TV and they were looking at that. And they started recognizing who I was. And plus, I was in prison with about 5 niggas from Compton. And so they were talking and telling them, oh, that's that nigga that used to be with Death Row or Suge or whatever. And then, God forbid, Gangster Chronicles was popping in. That channel they used to be. And most of them used to love listening to that Gangster Chronicles, because I don't know what happened to that formula that me, James, and Alex had. But motherfuckers was loving that shit back in 2019. And I knew about 3 or 4 guards that was like, they would be doing a count. And they'd be walking by and stop and be like, oh yeah, okay, Reggie Wright. So my point is, it happens. Females and prison guards are human too. And it happened. The experience that I had from law enforcement and from married women and all that, where I didn't know a female cop, some DAs or assistant DAs, that didn't have a relationship with an attorney or another cop. I can't think of one that never had a relationship with either an attorney or a cop. And so that does happen a lot in the workplace. But I know the subject was about inmates, and I believe it happens as well. I don't believe everyone does or anything like that. But that's a workplace environment. Think about how many people at your job that you know are married that are messing around with a coworker. It just happened. You're around people 8 to 10 hours a day, every day. And that nigga is what we call Jody. Just sitting around, being your friend. Let's go to lunch. Being nice, saying all the right things. And then you come to work mad one day. Or your wife go to work mad one day. They get caught slipping. Or go to the parties, the Christmas parties, have a little bit too much to drink, and all of that. Workplace, and that's why I just call prison or prison guards and stuff workplace relationships. Because when you're around somebody 8 to 10 hours a day for a long time, you're going to see people. You see them pretty much more than you see your spouse. Because most of the time you and your spouse together, what y'all doing? Arguing, fighting over money, or sleep. Or the kids driving you crazy. So yeah, I get it. I understand why that happened. And then you got to remember, most of the dude bodies in there, motherfuckers, off the chain. They be working out and all of that. Y'all seen that? We all done seen that video. I think there was some female guards in the UK where that chick was fine. And that dude was digging her down in the cell while his cellie sitting right there. So, yeah, it happens. It happens.